and I'm just chilling in the room, cooler than a fan. You know what I'm saying? Cooler than a fan. You know what I'm saying? Putting that that hypnotic look on you. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, man, I'm gonna ask you guys' opinion on this situation, or should I say this series with Minnesota and Denver. Would you call this a classic series? Because in all the wins for either team, they have pretty much been decisive wins or blowouts. There have not been any clutch shots whatsoever. Last minute 2-pointer, last minute 3-pointer. Clutch 4-point play, a clutch 3-point play. I mean, these games have all been won by wide margin. Now, both teams have proved they can go into each other's home stadium and win a game. Minnesota's defense finally showed up. The defense that you was wondering that CNAD got lost or maybe kidnapped, the last 3 games because they disappeared. Who's the buzz? Who's that? But anyway, nevertheless, I don't know what to make of this series because I'm not gonna say it's a classic. Not gonna say it's a classic series. It's been an interesting series to say the least. You had Minnesota who took the first 2 games, won decisively, and then you had the Denver Nuggets pretty much was dominant the last 3 games. And then you have Minnesota force a game 7 by just putting the clamps on Denver. So I was just like, okay, what kind of series is this? Like I said, this isn't exactly a classic series, but it's a interesting 7-game series. So now you have game 7 Sunday, Denver for all the marbles. I pretty much thought Denver was just going to lock this up. But good thing for Minnesota, they proved that they wasn't going away, without a fight, because this seemed like one of them heavyweight fights, where basically, the underdog just come out blazing like an old school 15-round fight, like Thomas Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard won. But then again, going back to that fight, Thomas Hearns kind of like was winning that fight decisively, but Sugar Ray Leonard came on the last 2 rounds. He hurt Thomas Hearns and he finished him off like in the 14th round. But Thomas Hearns, had that been a 12-round fight, Thomas Hearns would have won that fight going away. He was outboxing the shit out of Sugar Ray Leonard, but he ran out of gas. But maybe it's kind of like that fight, like maybe, Minnesota came out strong. Then they got a little lackadaisical, and basically Denver, just got it going like later on in the fight. So now here we are. This is for, I guess you could say this is either round 12 or round 15 for all the marbles. So we gonna see who gonna prevail. I'm not even gonna predict who gonna win on Sunday, but it's gonna be interesting to see what happens on Sunday, because due to the fact, once again, both teams proved that they can win on each other's home court. I've been telling you guys this for the longest. I've been telling you guys this for the longest, that home court, home field advantage is highly overrated. It just comes down to who execute the best game plan, because it's been proven time and time again. Minnesota went into Denver and won decisively both games, and then Denver went into Minnesota and won decisively So let's see. But Ant-Man was the star of the game. I think he was 8 for 17. Kind of put a little bit past. Ant-Man was a little bit past pedestrian. He was solid because you used to seeing Ant-Man put up big numbers, but I've seen this, and I'm gonna break this down about Ant-Man, and I'm pretty sure y'all noticed this if you really keep track of stats and you watch how I do play. This is the only pet peeve or the only problem that I see in Ant-Man sometimes. Ant-Man sometimes he goes, you know what I'm saying? He cools off sometimes. I've seen this in the NBA regular season. Every once in a while, Anthony Edwards, he could have like 4 straight games where he put up like 30 plus points. And then the next 2 or 3 games, he may put up 15, he may put up 18, he may put up under 2. And you look at how many minutes he played, it'll be 35, 36 minutes. Didn't really get into foul trouble. He just would have what you would call an off night. For game to the next level. Anthony Edwards be that dude. Man, Anthony Edwards is going to be the dude that decides this series. And this is just real talk. Anthony Edwards decides this series. Not Jokic, not Murray, not Gobert, not Karl Anthony Towns. Put this team on his back and say, give me the ball. Y'all play defense. Feed me the ball. Because really, nobody can't really stop him. Anthony Edwards decides this series. If he come out guns blazing, come in there basically with the mentality, y'all play defense, follow me, I'm going to get this. So I'm telling you right now, Anthony Edwards decides game 7, and he decides this series. It really comes down to him. He is the key factor in whether Denver loses or wins this series. And that's just real talk. You think they on the take? Well, listen, Jay Money. Hey, they don't call it gambling. They don't call it gambling for no reason, because it's a gamble. Go check and see what's going on FanDuel. I'll just go check and see what's going on FanDuel. I'm getting into gambling a little bit, but don't get me wrong, I'm not about to turn into Floyd Mayweather. I'm not going to be sitting up gambling away my paycheck or nothing. $20 here, $30 there, something like that. Taking a small over or taking a small under. But yeah, Anthony Edwards decides this series. We gonna see what Ant-Man shows up when everything is on the line. If Anthony Edwards go in there and has a dud of a game where he puts up like maybe 20 points. Now, Anthony Edwards, he need one of them 34, 35. He need a 30 and up game. And it appears that they took Gobert off of Jokic. I don't know. I don't want to say nothing about Gobert, because I'm gonna leave that alone, because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna sit up there and mix his personal life with his basketball life. So I'm gonna leave that alone, but I'm pretty sure somebody else gonna say it eventually. But it was kind of funny, when he was gone, they was a little bit more dominant, or they was way more dominant. So basically, Minnesota made the adjustments that they should have made after game 3. Actually, they should have made the adjustment after game 4, but I guess the coach finally realized that they needed to make simple adjustments as far as trying. See what they did with Jokic today, they contained him. You know, he still had 22 points, but they contained him. They made his game not relevant. And they put the clamps on everybody else. When you can contain the best player and at the same time shut down the other players, make the bench non-existence, because they have been a bench to begin with. So this was just a game where it went back to the Denver bench, and it kind of looked like the Denver bench got a little bit exposed. So Minnesota, to me, they are one of the tallest teams in the league. They got height. So once again, we're going to see what happens on Sunday. Be back with more later on. It's your boy Town. I'm out.